What's good, YouTube? In this video we'll be taking a look at the M1 iPad Pro versus the MacBook Air for students, and which one you might want to think about buying if you are looking to use it for courses and for studying. If you like this kind of content or find this kind of content helpful, leave a message down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. So the iPad Pro M1 and also the MacBook Air have existed on the market for just over half a year now. And while the laptop versus tablet form factor argument has been going on for quite some time, with the M1 chip, this is the first time that an iPad and a MacBook Air actually share the same amount of silicon. And while they don't have the same operating system, with OS X being on the MacBook Air and iPad OS on the iPad, they do offer some similarities in terms of performance. If you're studying visual arts and are looking at things like photo editing and video editing, surprisingly, both systems offer very high performance, with the MacBook and also the iPad being able to handle 4K video very seamlessly compared to previous iterations of the same devices. Of course, this is due to Apple's very well received M1 processor. The debate for you as a student at this point would be what kind of software you're using and if it's available on iPad OS. If you're doing video editing, then DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, and other apps like that might be best on the MacBook Air. However, video editing has taken off and improved significantly over the years on the tablet platform, and it's actually very possible to edit a full video professionally on an iPad Pro. So if things like color accuracy and brightness is something on your radar for the screen that you're looking for as a student, then actually the iPad Pro has a nicer screen, particularly if you go for the 12.9-inch version and the XDR display. For most purposes, the Retina display on the iPad Air should be more than sufficient, as I found it great for note-taking, video consumption, and classwork. But if you're in a field where your studies depend on color accuracy and rely on a display that is high in quality, then the iPad Pro is the better choice for you. Which just brings us to the next major decision when you're deciding between the MacBook Air and the iPad Pro: the form factor. The tablet has catched up over the years in regards to doing things that the laptop form factor can do. The iPad Pro has some very expensive and some very comfortable keyboard cases that you can attach that come with things like a touchpad as well. And while the touchpad on the keyboard cases for the iPad Pro might not be as big and roomy as found on the MacBook Air, they certainly offer just the amount of software optimization from Apple that makes scrolling and other touch gestures a complete joy, particularly if you get an official keyboard case from Apple. And that is where the iPad Pro has an ace up its sleeve: the Apple Pencil. Quite possibly the best stylus on the market for what it does. With the Apple Pencil Generation 2, you have a power horse of a note-taking machine, as well as other functions that can be served as a student. So if you need to draw on your device, there simply is no substitute for the Apple Pencil on the iPad Air. It's a great little stylus, and it can do so many things, and with Apple's updated software, the possibilities that you can take a stylus to on your tablet are better than ever. Drawing, sketching, taking notes, marking up PDFs and or lecture slides are much easier with an Apple Pencil and the software that you get on the iPad Pro as opposed to a MacBook Air. And it's improved low latency and pressure sensitivity, making drawing and writing on the iPad Pro Surface a complete joy. So this is where it's quite a deal breaker for me. If you're looking to take notes, that is handwritten notes, as a student, then there really is no substitute for the iPad Apple Pencil combination. If you're looking something with a full attachable keyboard and touchpad, then of course the MacBook Air is the choice for you. But the iPad is very quickly catching up with its very high quality keyboard cases, touchpads, and mouses. What do you think? Is there still functions that a full laptop like the MacBook Air does that the iPad cannot simply replace? Leave a message down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.